picture kind of what happens in, first out, and last in, first out. And again, everyone learns differently. My wife, she looks at a map and it doesn't make any sense to her. But if you give her a list of directions, she's probably fine with that. You know, so people learn. You know, there's different ways of learning. Okay. So basically, the you know, if you LIFO and FIFO, the inventory and purchases, those are all exactly the same. They just, whatever you had in inventory, whatever you purchased. The only difference is what you assume has been sold. And for first in, first out, so you have all these units, right, coming from over here. The first ones are the first ones sold. And the cost of those first ones are the first, when you go to the financial statements. So the units are the first ones, and the cost of those units go to the financial statements. And notice that the ending inventory, you know, are here at the end. So if the first ones are sold, you know, the last ones are going to be in the ending inventory, right? I mean, it just, if the first ones are sold, the last ones have to be those, right? And last in, first out is, it's similar, that you're just taking the units, but you're just assuming that the last one's in where the first one's sold. So these ones down here, can't highlight this. These ones down here, that the last ones in were the ones that were sold. The units that were not sold were the beginning ones. So the first inventory, you know, the first ones are ones that are not sold. And same thing with the cost. So it's just basically the assumption of which ones are sold. And again, this last in, first out, again, I think I mentioned this numerous times. I'll bore you one last time with it. But it's a theoretical that the last, it actually comes over here, the last costs are the most relevant as far as calculating your income. It's a economics, finance thing that they say the last price that you paid is probably the most accurate as far as it comes to your income. Again, most things do not sell last in, first out, but it's that assumption's made. Okay, so you know, whichever ones are not sold will end up in the ending inventory, and those costs, whatever the costs were for those first ones. So the units sold and the costs go together. You know, the units that were sold have the cost of goods sold, and the ones that were not sold, the ending inventory, those are also just on the ones that were not sold. What were the costs for those? I don't know if this helps or maybe it makes it worse, but now some things you guys have noticed, I think, when we went through these is if the prices are rising, if the prices are going up, right? If they go from, you know, whatever, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You know, if let's say these are the prices, if they're going up, for FIFO, that means the most expensive ones will be in the ending inventory. And the cheaper ones will be in the cost of goods sold. And usually prices, in general, prices do go, yeah, they do go down sometimes, but generally prices are going up. And nowadays they're going up quite a bit. But anyway, and just the opposite down here. If the last ones are the ones that were sold, they're usually, if it's normal, if the prices are increasing, those are the more expensive ones. And the cheaper ones are in the beginning inventory, or ending inventory, excuse me. The cheaper ones are in the ending inventory. Question on that? No, okay. Enough of that. So today, practice exam. Can you guys hear my clock? I don't know if you guys can hear my clock. It sounds like someone's sawing a piece of, you know, I'm going to turn that. No. It's a silent clock that all of a sudden it sounds like someone's chopping wood. So anyway, I'll unplug the thing in a second. It's not silent anymore. So here's the stuff for the day. Here's the first two ones are basically 1 and 2 go together. They're both have to do with FIFO, cost of goods sold, and ending inventory. And 3 and 4 are the same way. So you're gonna do some calculations on those. And then the other ones are kind of definition-y, kind of think about things. So I'm gonna go ahead and start a poll. I think there's 7. Yeah, so 7, 1 through 7, and then the here we go. Okay. So again, for this one, you're going to have to do some calculations. But one thing I'll say one more thing here. And that is that, of these ones that are sold, you have ones that are sold and the ones that are not sold. A lot of times, not in this case, I don't think, but sometimes you can save time if you just go right to the last ones in. Say, okay, the ones that were not sold. This one, it's not going to matter. But part of my reason for showing you this thing was that if you have 50 lines of purchases and just a little bit of ending inventory, we'll just do the ending inventory first.
Hey, Professor.
Yeah.
I accidentally closed out of the poll. Is there a way for me to get it again?
Well, you know what? I'll just end the poll, and no one's submitted anything yet, right? Okay, I'm going to end the poll, and I'm not going to share the results, but I'm going to start another poll. Hey. Give me a second here. Oh, here, relaunch poll. Okay, is it back?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, no problem. I am going to get rid of my clock here. Okay. I'm looking at the people. So far, people who've answered this. There is no answer E. So don't put answer E for any of these. There isn't an answer E. So. All right.
I don't know if you can submit when you're done because there's 10 questions, maybe.
Well, no. It's there's some people have submitted for, they say question E on the other, on ones that are one through 7. No, if you answer E for 8, 9, and 10, that's fine. 8, 9, and 10, you can answer anything.
I couldn't press the submit button, and I'm not sure if it's because I didn't go past.
Oh, yeah, you have to answer all of them for some reason. Yeah, it's a quirk of it, but yeah, there is I think there's one on there for there is no question or something like that. But
Got it. Thanks.
But whatever you put in for 8 through 8, 9, 10, it doesn't matter. Well, the more I think about it, if you came up with an answer that wasn't given here, maybe you would put E. You know, if what you came up with wasn't matching any of these, and you wouldn't answer, there is no question, because there is a question, but is this not the answer? Is not that. Okay, so that could be an honest answer. Checking to make sure. Okay. You just sent out the part 2. If you're still working on part 1, by all means, finish part 1. We're going to go over part 2. Don't worry about that. But finish part 1 and get that in, so then we can start working on part 2. So ignore that email until you part 1 done. Are there still people working on part one?
Yeah, I'm about to finish though.
Oh, okay, take your time. Don't make sure. Okay, anyone else still working on it? If you're still working on it, go ahead and you can private chat me if you don't want to say anything, or just say, yeah, I'm still working on it. Is you still working on the exam, on the part one?
No.
No. Okay, and the poll. And share results. All right. Well, this first one is the problem with this first one is the wording of it. It says the physical count of merchandise inventory in July reveals that there are 32 units on hand. Okay, is that how many units were sold, or are those in the ending inventory?
Ending inventory.
Yeah, those are ones that were not sold, right? If they went out and counted them, they must have still been there. So it's kind of like this. We have our available units. Oops. 100. Now, these are either sold or not sold. So if the not sold were 32, oops. That must be the, I just say units not sold. $68. So this is what we're going to need for our cost of goods sold. Huh, well, I went to Times New Roman. I haven't seen that in years. That's funny because these are these actually came from a different handout they had in this aerial. So anyway, so that's good. So so we need the cost for 68 units. And we're saying the first one's in when the first one sold. The first one's in would be the beginning inventory. Beginning inventory has 20 units. The cost is $15 each. I'll do the math later. Okay, so these first ones are gone. They're gone, they're never coming back. And we still need the cost for found the cost of 20 of those, so we still need the cost for 48. And we'll go to the next ones in. Now there's 70 in that layer, but we don't need 70. We only need 48 of them. Cost is 20. And here's a step you don't have to do. I'm going to do it just because I'm me. So we got all the costs we need. We have so 20 is 380. 48 times 20 is 960. So our total cost is $13.40. Oops. And again, this one, you know, the problem is this units on hand. I think some people were looking at the answers, like some people thought that maybe that was the units that were sold. Okay, so the first one is A. Okay, coming down to number 2, there's a fast way and then there's a slow way. I'll show you the fast way first. We have these $2,000 worth of costs. Of those costs, we sold $13.40. So the not sold would be what was left over? $660. I'll do the long way here in a second. Not sold. Now, let's do the long way here. Now, this beginning inventory is gone completely, not coming back. Oops. The purchases from sold was 48. Oops. Oops. Wrong one. Let's try this again. Okay, so here's what's left. You know, 440 plus 220 equals the 960. What was not sold. Of course, on that. So either way, you do it either way. All right. I put it in there. Okay. Same thing here, except for is LIFO, the last one's or the first one sold? So we sold 68. Last one's in came on 22nd. 10. Going up the ladder. All 58 from that layer. And again, you do. I'm just putting this there to show that we don't need the cost for any more of them. So this is what 20. Times 20 is 1160. Hey, look at that. We've got LIFO right than the other than FIFO. That's not usually the way it works out, but I'm glad. Okay, and again, the what way is it sold? You go what 620? So 620 is the number, and we will do the kind of long way. Okay, the purchases were, these are gone. From this next layer, we sold, 58 of those. So we have, what, 12 left? Some of those are gone anyway. Okay, so here's what's left over. We have 380. I don't know how to the whole thing, I guess. And we still have 240 of those. missed that one. And these are, I mean, they're not theoretically hard. These are more tedious, you know, crossing all the units and all that kind of stuff. And again, here's a little shortcut though. If you get that, you know, if you get the total cost here, you know, you can use that. So if you know what the cost of goods sold is, well, the rest of it must be an ending inventory. So if this is the total cost of all the units you had available that you could possibly sell, kind of like this thing. You know, if this, let's go over here for the cost. If this was 2,000, the total amount here was 2,000, right? And it's got to be split up between these two. So if this one was whatever 13, I forget what it was now, 1380, you know, the rest of it must be in ending inventory. So, you know, the units, they're either sold or not sold, and the costs are either with the units that were sold or not sold ones that are in ending inventory. So all, you know, all the units have to be accounted for, all the costs have to be accounted for. So there's kind of a shortcut here if you want to. And by the way, that works for the other problems we do too, multiply them out. Yeah. Okay, now the tricky ones. I guess not so tricky. These are, you just got that one right. Ending inventory is based on the latest purchases, that's right, because first in, first out says that those are ones that were sold. B is, FIFO is usually the way inventory is sold. Because the earliest goods acquired are last to be sold. No, that's LIFO. And this is, no, it's really not a good idea to sell your most recently acquired. You know, if you have milk on the shelf and that's all the, you know, and you get new milk in, you want to sell the other milk before you put the new milk out, or else you're just going to be throwing out milk. So, kind of a management thing. Using the LIFO method, pick C. C is correct. And again, this is a theoretical one. It's not allowed in other countries because inventory usually doesn't flow this way. And this one you got right too. FIFO will have the highest ending inventory. Why? Because they're the latest prices. The purchase here will be in the ending inventory. The most expensive ones will be in the ending inventory, so those will be the highest ones. And you guys get that right. You guys missed one. It's not bad.
Wait, what was 7?
Oh, I'm sorry. 7 was
Ending inventory. Okay, got it. Was the one we missed 6?
Actually 4. People picked A for 4. And 540 was the, unless I did the math wrong. That's it. No, it's oh, at least it's a period behind it. Anyway, no, 620 is it. I'm going to ask you a dumb question. How do you guys get 640?
I think I just calculated it wrong.
Okay. I know what the 640 is actually the more I think about it. The 640 is if you took the average cost. The average cost would be 2,000 divided by 100 units would be $20 each. And so if you want to think about it, yeah, that's how it would do it. If you get the average cost be $20 each, you multiply it out, it would be 20 times 32, 640. So this is actually the average cost. I didn't have you guys do the average cost just because I don't know. Yeah, if you stick long enough as it is. Okay, very good. +3 on that. Okay. And I'm running late, I know here. Let's take a look. Oh, we got time to do this. Okay, so this one, a little bit tricky. The units that we sold were 30. This almost looks identical to one I had in the handout. Anyway, okay, so we need to find the cost for, so this would be the cost of goods sold. And this one also has the Times New Roman, which you guys are probably thinking, what is that? Like a Magna Carta or something? Okay, so units sold. So we've sold 230. And so we need to find the cost for 230 of them. So we sold 230 units. They don't tell us the selling price, but for the cost of goods sold, we really don't need it. So first place we're going to go is this. First in, first out. Okay, so first place we're going to go is January 1st. $90 of them. And still need the cost for 140. And this one's going to take us a little while here. January 10th purchase. So we still need to find the cost for some more. 30. Okay, so these are gone. Never coming back. These are gone, never coming back. So we're to the January 21st purchase. And we'll take 30 of those. Okay, the 110 was at 30. $1,800, what is that? 30, it'd be 33,300. times 40, give you a 1200. $6,300. Oops. Oops. Is that what you guys got? Now the ending inventory would be that we, oops. We actually sold 30 of those here. So this would be the only thing to be left in our ending inventory. Well, the rest of these are all sold. So the ending inventory. In the new Times Roman. Units. Sorry about that. And so this would be our ending inventory. This YA, you don't need to total it up any more than that. Okay, we're almost out of time on these. I'm gonna put the answers to this up, and then I'll show you a quick way of doing these. So you should get, this is what you should get for these two. I'll show you a quick way though. Okay, so the unit sold was 230. The units not sold was 40. Now, if the last one's in, here's the last one's in. If these are the ones that were sold, I haven't. Oh, some kind of weird formatting thing. So if these are the last ones in, those are the first ones sold. And I'll go through this in a minute here. The ending inventory would be up from up here, right? These are the ones that would be not sold. So you just take 40 times 20, that'll give you the ending inventory. And you can multiply these out, and that would give you the total amount. Yeah. Yeah, keep forgetting. It is probably, I'm probably confusing people. All right, so I know you guys have to go to your other class, so I'm going to keep going here though. Oops. So I'll put the solutions that they'll be in the recorded one. I know you guys got a class at 2 o'clock. So anyway, I'll go through and finish this up and put it through the way we normally look at it, and that'll be posted later. Okay. Oops, wrong one. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is we'll just go through this like we normally would. Okay, so units sold. So cost of goods sold. If you add these two up, it'll give you the total available. 7,900. Wait a minute. Okay, last one's in, first one's out. So we'll take the January 21st purchase. $70. They're gone, never coming back. Purchase on the 10th. And so we will take 50 out of that 90 first. Oops. And up here, so 50 of those units are sold, never coming back. So the ending balance would be the 40 units at 20, which is what we down here. Any question on that? Okay, so oops, not that. I'll send the exam out. I'll send it out tomorrow. Well, maybe I'll try getting it out tonight. I'll see. I want to take a look at it, make sure I kind of clean it up. make sure we don't have things in times rolling for one thing. But anyway, so I'll go ahead and send out the exam. I'll try to get it out today. If not, certainly by tomorrow, I'll have it out. And it'll be due on a week from tomorrow. November 19th. Sorry about that. So on Friday, November 19th. And yeah, hopefully by today I'll have it sent out. If not by today, certainly by tomorrow. All right. Apologies for taking so long on this one. I will talk to you guys on Tuesday.
Have a good one.
Have a good weekend.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Thank you.
Thanks.